So, hey guys. So in this video, we're going to be doing something a bit different. I don't normally do this sort of thing, but we're going to be doing a tier list on Assassin's Creed. So, as you might know, Assassin's Creed is my favorite game franchise. I've played all the games. I've played most of the DLCs. I've played all the spin-offs. I love Assassin's Creed. And just to go over a few things. Like I said, I've played all the games. I do prefer the older classic style, linear kind of stealth approach, rather than the RPG open world kind of, approach that's happening now. But I still appreciate those games, and even though it's not really my thing, and I prefer the older games, I can still find things I like in those games as well. And spoiler alert, Origins is one of my favorite ones. So yeah, so let's get into this. So for the tier list, I've just kind of made simple ones. So the bottom one is just kind of ones that I would never, I just would never go back to. But I can't imagine there'll be anything in here in the D one. But this one, the best is basically what I think is the best game. Obviously, that's what it says. But this is what I would believe is the best game. And then I'm gonna maybe put them in order at the end of what I think is the best to the worst. But yeah, and also I'm going to try and not edit as much in this video. I'm going to try and keep it very straightforward and simple and try and not, edit around, but we'll see what happens. So, it's in order as well, so let's see first. So, yeah, so Assassin's Creed 1, where would I put Assassin's Creed 1? I think I'm going to put in A. It's just a really good, solid game. It's it's aged really well. It's the first game in the franchise. When it first came out, it was amazing. Nothing really like it. But now I think there's a lot of things wrong with it. Maybe like repetitiveness. A lot of people say with the missions. But it's just a really solid game, and I think if you go back to it now, it's aged quite well. Especially if you're like me and you enjoy that more older style Assassin's Creed. But it's just a really great game. The combat's pretty good. The parkour is good. The stealth is amazing. Altair and his story. It's just a really good game, and I don't think it should be any lower than A. But yeah. Moving on to Assassin's Creed 2. So Assassin's Creed 2, I think I'm going to put in S. Now, I know a lot of people say it's the best Assassin's Creed, and I totally understand why people say that. It's definitely top 3, Assassin's Creed 2. It's definitely top 3. It just expanded so well on Assassin's Creed 1 with the parkour, the stealth, the combat, the world as well, and the cities. It also was the introduction to Ezio and his story, and the characters with Ezio, like Leonardo and his family. It's honestly just a fantastic game, and I totally get it why people say it's the best. Just in my opinion, there is something that's better, but if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 2, go back and play it. It's a really great game, and yeah, it's not really aged up. It's actually aged quite well as well. Just a really great game. So the next game on the list is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Now, this, in my opinion, is the best Assassin's Creed, and I'll say why. So Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, just like I said before, it expanded so well on Assassin's Creed 2. The introduction of the recruit system with assassins was amazing, super fun. The villain is really good. All of the assassination missions with the targets is really cool. Leonardo's side quests are some of the best in the franchise. Ezio is in his peak, he's the best he's ever been, and his character and the story is just so well written, and the ending is amazing, and the world in Rome, and yeah, it's really, really good. I loved it, and the combat and the parkour is, it's even more improved from Assassin's Creed 2 and 1. It's a really great game, and I just think if you haven't played it, go back and play it. In my opinion, it's the best. I can always go back and play it, just like I can with the other games, but this one holds a special place in my heart, I think. Now, moving on to the next game, Assassin's Creed Revelations. Now, this is going to be a bit confusing, but I'm going to put in S. However, it is my favourite Assassin's Creed. Now, I do think Brotherhood is technically better in certain aspects. I think that Brotherhood, it kind of does a lot more things right, but Revelations, to me, is my favourite. I have really fond memories of this game. The story is amazing. I think it's probably the best Assassin's Creed story, if not like second best. The introduction, not the introduction, but the pairing with Altair and Desmond, and how it all ties together at the end is just beautiful. I really like where Ezio's like mindset is, and like the Ezio we get in Revelations. I also really like the world. Maybe not as good as 2 and Brotherhood, but it's still amazing. I really like the hook blade, the assassin recruit missions, and yeah, just the whole vibe of the game. I just really like it, and it's my favorite by far. Now, moving on to the next game, Assassin's Creed 3. When this game first came out, a lot of people did not like it. I personally, I liked it a lot. I didn't love it, but I really did like it. And I'm gonna put in A now. Looking back, the game, it's aged really well. Like I said with Assassin's Creed 1, especially if you're an older style Assassin's Creed fan, this game's aged really well. The story is really good, the characters, the writing, and the world is just amazing. It's very different to the other Assassin's Creed games. The combat is the best in the franchise, I would say. And, Connor, a lot of people don't like Connor. I don't love him. I think he's good. He could have been, better in my opinion, but he's not a bad character. And I just wish they made the homestead missions like it forced you to do the homestead missions first before you could finish the game, because the homestead missions really built Connor's character, and I just wish they implemented that. It's a really good game though, and it's underrated as hell. And if you haven't played it as well, like go back and play it. I would say, because this is kind of the conclusion to Desmond's story, these first 5 games, are like the true old style Assassin's Creed games, and then it moves into like a new kind of style, and yeah, but it's a really good game and quite underrated. Now, the next game, Liberation, it's kind of harsh to compare this game to the other games. I think I'm gonna put it in C. I just don't think it's a bad game, and I think for what it is, it's a fine game. I think it came out for PSP, and then they brought it over to consoles. So yeah, you can't really compare it to the other games. The story isn't really great. The combat's pretty much the same as Brotherhood. The character is pretty good. The stealth is alright. I like the identity, feature. That was like a new feature they added, the identity with the personas and stuff. That was kind of cool. Yeah, you just can't really compare to the others. So I'm not going to say it's a bad game, but yeah. Now, moving on to Black Flag. Black Flag is often regarded as the best Assassin's Creed game. It's between, this 2 and Brotherhood that a lot of people kind of put it, as the best. I'm going to put in S tier. Like I said, I think Brotherhood's the best, but I do think Black Flag is a fantastic game as well. It's a really, really, really good Assassin's Creed game. It's a pirate game, but it has that assassin essence of the Assassin's Creeds. Yeah, and it's just a really well done game. The ship combat's amazing. The world, Edward as a character, the improved combat system, and the fact that you could like climb on you could parkour on the ships and stuff. It was just kind of cool, like the implementation of like a scenery we never really had yet. But yeah, going to the islands and stuff and searching under the water, it was a really cool like upgrade, and the story's just amazing. The ending, I'm saying the same things with the other Assassin's Creed, but this is like peak Assassin's Creed. Like the story was really good. The writing it was the best early on. Yeah, I'm saying the same things, but it's because it's true. Black Flag was amazing, and I understand why people say it's the best. Really, really good game. Now, moving on to Rogue. Rogue is another game that I can't really have it super high, but like I'm gonna put in A as well. It's a game that when it came out, it just had a lot of similarities with Black Flag. Only really certain features, were added, and the story was different, and that was about it. But it's an underrated game. I really enjoyed it. I thought, Shay was a really cool character. The implementation of Hatham and Achilles as well, like it kind of, added to the story. And, if you're a true Assassin's Creed fan and you played it, you appreciate it more, I think. The combat's just the same as Black Flag, ship combat as well. But the story is really cool, and the ending is, ties into Unity, which is quite nice. Really, underrated game. If you haven't played it, go play it, as I said. Yeah. Moving on to Unity. Now, Unity, like Assassin's Creed 3, when this game first came out, people didn't like it. I didn't mind it too much. I didn't really run into many issues, but I could see what people were experiencing. And yeah, the game was very buggy at the release, but it's aged really well, and it's probably like the last, I guess, Syndicate. I was gonna say it's like the last like true Assassin's Creed game, but maybe Syndicate is. But this game, Unity, I'm putting in S 100%. I think it's got the best gameplay in the whole franchise. I'm not really a big fan of the story, but I do think Arno's an okay character. I think the online's quite, it's a cool feature. If they expanded on it more, it probably would have been better. But the online's alright. It's still, you can still find lobbies now. The world is amazing. The combat, the use of mocap, which is crazy to say, but later in the franchise it gets worse. Yeah, it's a really good game. People know about Unity now. It's not really underrated anymore. It's just fantastic. So moving on to the next game, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Now Syndicate, I'm going to put an A. Now, as you can probably tell, a lot of these games are like, A and S, and you can probably tell I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan, and I don't really think there's a bad game necessarily, but yeah, it's my tier list, and this is kind of what I think. But Assassin's Creed Syndicate, when it first came out, I liked it a lot, but the more I've played it, the more I just kind of dislike it. There's certain elements I like, it's got similar parkour to Unity. The combat I think is too squishy. I'm not really a big fan of the combat. The world's pretty good. The Jack the Ripper DLC is quite nice. The characters of Jacob and Evie is okay. The story is, it's not my favourite, and I just think it's a bit too, I saw the leaks of like what this game was meant to be when it was meant to be much darker. One character, and it was meant to be, like I said, like dark London, um, with the Jack the Ripper DLC. That would have been like a really cool, pairing of it with the DLC and the dark tone. But it just wasn't that. It was comedic, and it just felt kind of goofy. And the more I've played it, the more I haven't really liked it. But it's not a bad game, and I do think the best thing about the game, in my opinion, it's got the best black box missions in the entire game. I mean, in the entire franchise. Best black box like mission structure in the franchise, 100%. But yeah, other than that though, it could have been better. The potential was there. Moving on to Origins, however, Origins surprised me. I'm definitely putting it in S. I think it's a fantastic game, as I've said with the others. Really good game. The story is top 3, definitely top 5, top 3 maybe. Bayek as a character's top 3 for me personally. The world is amazing. While I don't really like the combat and the it was kind of stripped of its parkour. Stealth you can still kind of do, but the parkour, it got stripped completely. The combat was different, and I don't love it. The rest of the game is amazing. Really good game. The DLCs are amazing as well. Like, this is, in my opinion, the best RPG open world of the Assassin's Creeds, and it's definitely S for me. Moving on to the next one, because I don't want this video to be too long. Chronicles, same with Liberation. I don't want it to, I can't really compare it to the others. It's good for what it is. If you haven't played them, play them if you're a true fan of AC. But yeah, you can't really compare them. Good for what they are. I'm not going to say it's bad, but, I think the Russia story was the best one, but the other two aren't bad either. They're pretty good. But yeah, moving on, Odyssey. Now, Odyssey, I know a lot of people like Odyssey. Like I said, I'm not really a big open world RPG Assassin's Creed fan, and I also think this is the least Assassin's Creed game out of all of them. Good game, I hear a lot of people say, like, it's a good game, but not a good Assassin's Creed game. I'm going to put it in B personally. I don't really go back to it. I don't really like it. I don't hate it. I think, if you like it, that's you. Fair play, but me personally, it's just not my kind of Assassin's Creed game. Yeah, it's just too big. I think they just changed too much, I think, and it didn't have that like stealth classic feel. The combat's pretty good, but yeah, that's about it. Moving on to the next one, Valhalla. It's kind of the same story. I'm going to put it in B as well. Same story, but it did have a bit more Assassin, Creed elements, I guess, and the introduction of Basim and the world. I'm a bit more of a Norse fan than a Greek fan, so I think Valhalla kind of, hooked me in that way. But yeah, it's about the same as Odyssey. It's not really what I'm looking for in an Assassin's Creed game. Moving on to the next game, Mirage. Now Mirage, I was really excited for Mirage. I'm gonna put in A. You know, it went back to the quote unquote roots, which it kind of did. The stealth is really good. The parkour, it's better than the Valhalla Odyssey and stuff, but it's not quite old Assassin's Creed. But it's still really good. And I would say Mirage is now the most underrated Assassin's Creed game, personally. I think the story isn't amazing, but it's not bad. I prefer it over Syndicate, if I'm honest. But the gameplay is really good. The world's really good. Bassam's an interesting character. In Bordeaux, the people who made Mirage, if they get like another opportunity, I think they could do a fantastic job. And Mirage was like a good, standalone game, and it made all the people who wanted the older style kind of remember how good it used to be. And I really had a fun time with Mirage. And again, if you haven't played it, go back and play it, especially if you like the older games. And now moving on to the last game, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Shadows, it's a bit similar to Syndicate, what I just said before. I'm gonna put it in A, but yeah, when I first played Shadows, I did really enjoy it. I thought it was amazing. Like, I really, really liked it. I kind of liked it more than Origins at the time. But the more I've played it, the more I've realised it does a lot of things that I dislike. Now, it's not a bad game at all, as I've said before. The stealth is it's debatably top 3 in the franchise. It's really good. The lack of mocap kind of ruins the story. The story isn't that great to begin with, and the assassins and Templars aren't really the core focus, and it's kind of annoying. But the gameplay is really good. I like all the weather changes and stealth changes. The stealth is really good. The combat's really good. The world is quite nice. It's a bit too big, but it's still all right. It's just the story, and I think the story has left a bad taste in my mouth the more I've thought about it, and I wish if the story was better. I think this could be definitely S, maybe top 5 in the franchise. But yeah, I think the more I thought about it, it's A for me. But yeah, now I'm gonna quickly rank them for what I would say. So I would say, in my opinion, I do think Brotherhood's the best, but I would put Revelations as my favorite. But I do think Brotherhood's the best. But then I would probably put Revelations, then 2, then would I put Black Flag next? Yeah, I think I would. Black Flag, yeah, that's about right, I'd say, for S. And then A, I would put... Okay, this might be crazy, but I'd probably put Mirage here, 3 here. Oh, actually, would I put 3 here? No, I'd probably put 3, then Mirage. Then I'd probably put 1, then Rogue, then Shadows, then Syndicate. Or maybe... yeah. Or maybe, yeah, I'll put Shadows, then Rogue, then Syndicate. And then for these, I'd probably swap these around. Then I just keep these as they were, because you can't really compare them. But yeah, so this has been quite a long video. Sorry about that. But this is my Assassin's Creed tier list of what, I would rank the games as. And yeah, as I said before, I'm a big fan of the franchise. Played all the games, played most of the DLCs, platinum most of the games, apart from I think I haven't platinum these two. And yeah. But I've played, all the games. I love the games. They're amazing. Each of them, you can kind of take away something that you like about them. Like, even with Odyssey, it might not be my favorite, but I understand why people like it. But yeah, that's about it. If you like this sort of thing, let me know. And let me know your tier list and what you would change in my tier list as well.